everyone, and welcome to the BlackOut series, proudly brought to you by Black creatives out there. My name is Diane Wesh, and once again, I am so honored to be your host for this series, which will be held every Sunday for the next 9 weeks. I hail from Virginia Beach, Virginia, the 757, and I'm the proud product of tough Haitian immigrants. I'm also an inclusive marketing consultant and the founder of Got Blacklisted. As y'all know, we're not here to sugarcoat the hard stuff, but rather to share our stories, our collective truths. We'll dive deep into art, COVID-19, the Black Lives Matter movement, and more. Please keep in mind that Black Creatives Out There Aroa is not a mental health provider, but rather a community of Black creatives aiming to elevate the Black consciousness. Interviews are normally 30 minutes, but on certain occasions, they may last up to 45. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below prior to 12:30. And now, allow me to welcome our guest this afternoon. Based in Rotorua, Sahara Magura is an 11-year-old creative entrepreneur and young activist. She has a deep passion for justice and advocacy and sees arts as a way to advocate for young people who experience the ramifications of racism and ignorance, both in the school system and outside it. Welcome, Sahara. Would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. As you know, my name's Sahara. I am Zimbabwean and Samoan, Tongan, and Tukalawan. I was brought up in New Zealand, and I moved from the South Island to Rotorua, where I am now.
Thank you for that beautiful intro, Sahara. And for our viewers tuning in today, I just want to let you all know that I personally had the pleasure of meeting Sahara and her mom roughly a month ago while I was traveling in Rotorua. So Sahara, thank you and your mom again. It has been such a pleasure being able to personally meet you, have tea with you, and chat with you. So I'm super excited to get this conversation started. I guess I want to kind of touch on COVID-19, and essentially we've had 2 separate lockdowns, but I saw that during the first lockdown, you created the Afro Islander Challenge as a means to virtually connect with other children who experience bullying and racism. Can you explain why you created that challenge?
The challenge was initially created to spread awareness about them for young Black kids such as myself. TikTok is a very big social media platform, especially during lockdown where everyone was on there because everyone was so bored. So I thought creating the dance on TikTok would be the best way for me to spread awareness about my story and to help other young Black kids to spread their story as well.
Awesome. And I mean, even though I'm 28 years old, you think that I know all the social media out there, but I do not. Understand TikTok, there's Snapchat now, but I did see that a lot of kids really were, participating in it. So that was super amazing to see a lot of children and their families. How did that make you feel?
I was super happy. I was so happy that so many people joined in on the challenge. I couldn't believe that so many people were doing it as well. I thought it would just be a small thing that not many people would notice or see, but it was very surprising to see how many people actually jumped on the trend and used the hashtag Afro Islander Challenge.
And do you know, like, roughly where a lot of the children were located? Was it a lot of children from Rotorua, or was it kind of all over New Zealand? Like, can you kind of explain what you saw or where the children were doing these TikTok videos from?
It's all over the world, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all over New Zealand were people. That's where I saw other people doing the challenge, but a lot of people around the world will and can join in on it still, and will see it eventually, and have been joining in on the trend.
Awesome. And what feedback did you receive from it?
I received a lot of uplifting comments and messages on my Afro Islander page. a lot of them were like saying how brave I was to spread awareness about it at such a young age. I was uplifted by a lady that messaged me on my Afro Islander page, telling me about her story when she was younger and about how um, she wasn't brave enough to speak out about it. I really liked hearing her story because that helped me know that I'm not the only person that went through that stuff, and I'm a role model for others as well that couldn't speak up about racism at a young age as well. So I was so happy that I got a whole bunch of positive feedback and a whole bunch of positive messages on my page.
And did this lead to more opportunities for you to, like, I guess, collaborate with other creatives?
Yes, I have had a few interview. Oh, well, I had an interview on the radio. I also had a motorcycle gang come to my house and surprise me and take me around Rotorua. I also had an interview on a TV show that will be being released soon. I have had a whole bunch of people contact me on my page for interviews and collaborations. And yeah.
And can you share with our viewers, can you kind of, I guess, elaborate more or describe a little more about Afro Islander and why you and your mom created it and why you use the hashtag I belong?
So at first, I just had a whole bunch of racism coming to me from my old school and that I've been getting since I was 2. My mom knows that I don't really like speaking out about it, and she doesn't like the fact that I don't like to confront it. And she wants other people to hear my story and see that it's okay to confront racism. Doesn't matter what age you are. So we made Afro Islander to spread awareness about racism for young Black kids in New Zealand and around the world. It was basically just to confront the racism and spread my story to other young Black kids so they could feel like it was okay for them to speak out about their story as well. We used the hashtag I belong because I think personally, no matter what your race is, or no matter what your skin tone is, no matter what family you come from, where you come from, you should be able to feel like you're accepted wherever you are. So the hashtag I belong was to say, like, I belong here, everyone belongs. Everyone should be able to use that hashtag as well. I have it on my Afro Islander merch as well at the back of my hoodies. I have it basically in nearly every post that I have on my Afro Islander page. Um, Everyone should feel like they are accepted wherever they are. It was basically to break the cycle of accepting what life is for Black people around racism. So a lot of people do not like speaking about this. They do not like confronting it. They just keep it to themselves. And that was something that we saw in Black people's posts. They don't like confronting it. They do not like speaking about it. They just accept it. And it's not okay to just accept it. They need to confront it. And we wanted to tell other young Black kids that they need to confront their racism as well. It took me a while to tell my mom about my racism, but that I've been experiencing at my school. But now that it's being spread around New Zealand, I am more open to talk about this type of stuff, and I hope that young Black viewers that watch this or see this in the future will feel like they can speak about their stories as well.
Thank you, Sahara. And just to reiterate to our viewers, this young lady is only 11 years old. So just absorb that for a moment. Like, it's phenomenal, phenomenal. Sahara, before we dive again deep into your story, I just want to ask you, back in early August, you had your first runway experience in Rotorua, modeling in an African fashion, with African fashion wear. How did it feel to strut the runway?
Um, it was amazing. I felt so confident. I don't really wear African clothes, but wearing that type of stuff made me feel like powerful. I felt powerful. Um, it was amazing to finally try and get to wear that type of clothing. Um, I felt like myself. I felt like I was at home with that clothing. Um, it was an amazing experience, and with that runway, I got to meet a lot of other Africans as well. Um, Wearing that type of clothing that was from Zimbabwe, um, it was amazing. I had never felt like that ever in my life. I felt like I was at home. I felt like I was finally at peace with myself, and it was um, amazing to finally get to wear that type of clothing.
And please explain, how did it feel rocking your natural hair?
Um, it was amazing. It was like I felt powerful. I felt like there was nothing that could bring me down, because usually I like to wear braids. I don't really like showing my hair because there are a few people that like to point out my hair, and some people like to call it a tree or a bush. Um, but I just I just accepted that I was probably going to get a few of those reactions from people um, at my school or kids at my school, but I was ready to get that type of stuff. So um, I was happy to finally feel like myself wearing my hair out. Um, Rocking my hair at that runway was amazing. It was like I could not explain it. It was wonderful. I hope to have that experience again next year when they do the runway again. And I was actually told by one of the people running the runway that they want me to participate in the Miss Rotorua beauty pageant. I think it was when I'm 14 or 15. So I'm happy that people actually liked me being there and that people want me to participate in future pageants.
And are you excited to continue with this new modeling career now? Because I foresee you having more opportunities come your way.
Yes, I'm excited to see what God has put for me in the future. I I would never do this. I thinking of it now, back in maybe 2018, I would never think of ever doing this. I would be so shy. I would never do this at all. But my confidence has come up so high since I created this Afro Islander page. All the opportunities that I've been getting was amazing. It was um, so cool to see that people wanted to actually hear my story. Um, I'm excited to see what I have in front of me and what else people want from me to see from me. Um, Hopefully, I will have more runway opportunities in the future when Corona's gone. And it's amazing to get these opportunities.
Sahara, if you don't mind me transitioning this conversation, at the mere age of 11 years old, you've already experienced so much. How old were you when you first encountered racism? Can you kind of explain it, describe it to our viewers?
I don't really remember it, but I was 2 years old. My mom has told me about this like a few times. I was 2 years old. I was at a play center with a whole bunch of kids, and there I was called the N-word. And I was told I can't play with kids because of my skin tone and stuff. I didn't really understand it at the time, but now thinking of it at 2 years old, that I would get that from kids around me and parents around me was that's horrible that I actually got that at 2 years old. And it's horrible to think, even even just me getting it, but thinking about other Black people getting the same thing as well. It's terrible that people have to go through the same thing as well as me in New Zealand and around the world. Um, yeah, hearing the story now, I couldn't believe that I got that type of thing said to me at 2 years old.
And can you kind of explain how racism has, I guess you could say, progressed or changed as you grew older? So, like, what other things did you experience as you grew older?
Um, but as I grew older, kids became more harsh. Their words were more painful, and um, they they just um, hit me like a ton of bricks when kids would say things to me. I've had a whole bunch of experiences at primary school. I'm now in intermediate. I'm in year 7. I still get that racism from kids at my age level. They talk about my hair and my skin tone, and um, a few kids like to say the N word around me to irritate me, and things have just gotten worse. But I learned to deal with it, and I can now confront the racism. I can now speak about it to other people. Um, if I were back in 2018, I didn't tell anyone about my racism because I felt like I was alone and no one would understand me, and people would get mad at me for not speaking out about it sooner. But now that I've gotten all this positivity and all this positive feedback, and I'm getting opportunities like this, I now know that I can confront it. I don't need to feel like I'm alone because I know I'm not alone. There are other kids around the world that feel like they are alone. And making this page was helpful to them as well as me. Um, and yeah.
Yes. And are the kids who are bullying you and spewing these racial slurs, are they predominantly white?
A few of them are. They're all races. They're all type of races, but
Mm-hmm.
most of them are. Um, a few of them are moldy and they have dark skin like mine, but they still decide to pick on me for my skin because my skin is darker than theirs. It is a, a whole wide of a whole wide range of different races that keep coming to me with racism. No matter how dark they are, I'm darker than them, so they think it's something that they can pick on me for.
And can you describe the school incident to our viewers?
Um, so this year I had an incident with a former student in my class. We were making artwork for Moldy Guardians, and we were using crayons and pastels, and the kid asked who wants to use the black crayons, and I said I needed it because I needed to finish off my artwork, and he said that I couldn't use it because I had enough black on my skin, and that's when um, I burst out into tears and I was crying. I removed myself from the situation because I didn't want to cry in front of everyone and get a whole bunch of attention drawn to the kid and a whole bunch of people ganging up on him. So I removed myself from the situation. Um, my friends saw what happened. They did talk to him about it. They were upset with what he said. I eventually told my teacher, and after that, when I came home, I just tried to relax. I watched a whole bunch of TikToks, which helped me relax. And then I got a call from my first teacher from my new school. I got a call from him, and it was a really lovely call. He was telling me that I shouldn't listen to the negative stuff that kids say, and he would tell me that they're just jealous of my melanin and stuff, and um, that I was beautiful, and I really felt uplifted by that. I never had a phone call or someone talk to me like that from my previous teachers, so I was so happy and um, I was so happy that a teacher reached out to me like that, because I don't really get people saying stuff to me like that other than the feedback that I get on my page now. So getting that type of stuff when I was feeling alone and sad really made me feel better and confident to go back to school the next day.
And was the issue resolved? Was the issue ever resolved in the school? Did anything come of it, or did maybe the student apologize to you, or is it still kind of the same, you said?
Well, not really much happened. The student did apologize to me, but that was, I'm pretty sure that was because he was told to by the teacher. It was recorded on something we call a tap at my school, um, but that's about it. Yeah.
And you would say you're pretty much the one that's always targeted in your classroom. Is that correct? What do you say?
Yes, because I am the only one of my nationality in my whole entire school. There is one kid in the class above me. He is Jamaican, but he doesn't get the type of stuff that I get much at my school because he's part of the popular crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So me being a new student at my school was basically something like a new target for the kids at my school. Um, I am pointed out as a black kid in my class sometimes, but I don't really think much of it anymore because I've grown the confidence through this year, so I have that confidence by my side as well as the positivity. Oh my gosh, the positivity I'm getting from my family and friends. So I don't really think much of that type of stuff anymore. But yeah, basically being the only one of my nationality in the whole entire school um, made it a bigger target for the kids in my class.
And Sahara, if you don't mind, can you also share the negative experience you had again? I believe it was just a few days ago or a few weeks ago regarding the mainstream salon.
Oh, so our school wanted to do something for the girls because we always have hairdressers come in for the boys at our school, and one of the teachers decided that we should have our own hair day. So a few girls were picked out to go down to our salon. Um, I'm not going to say the name of it. It was just for our hair to be done and to feel better about ourselves. But when I went there, the lady I was given did not know how to do my hair. all she really done was wash my hair and make it softer. But then when it came to actually doing my hair up, they didn't ask me what I wanted to be done. And the lady that was given to me was a trainee. They were all trainees. And one of the other ladies, I think she was the boss of the place, she was like, "Oh my gosh, we have the best braided hair for you. Don't worry, your braids are going to be wonderful." But I sat quiet, even though I knew that's not what I wanted done. I wanted to try get my hair straightened, but obviously that's not what happened. So she didn't brush my hair. She didn't try comb my hair. They got a wide tooth comb, but they like stabbed into my hair like that. And when she was braiding it, she was trying to part it into sections, but it was so knotty because she didn't braid it. It was so knotty, it was hard for her to part it into sections to braid it. And then when she had finally done one braid, it looked like a log of knots in my hair. I didn't really want to say anything because I didn't want to be rude, but my emotions got the best of me, and I started crying because I was watching my other friends get their hair done all nice. Well, my hair looked like a log. So they noticed I was crying and they asked me what was wrong. I told them, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll undo your hair. What do you want done?" And I was like, "I'll just do my own hair." So I went into the bathroom and done my hair and came out after that, and we went back to school.
It's so unfortunate. And I see now, like, thank goodness your mom does hair. But I see you also do your own hair from time to time. Have you learned quite a bit?
Yeah, I've learned how to maintain my hair and how to properly do it. I don't really know how to braid it properly, but I do know how to do a few hairstyles in my hair. My braids, they're tidy, but they're not that good in my hair. Yeah.
All right, so have you given me just a few minutes? We have a few questions from our viewers, so I'm just gonna take a quick look. Okay, here's one question. As a young Black Pacifica preteen, what are you looking forward to in the next few years?
Well, I'm just hoping that I get more opportunities like this to speak out. Um, I want to be a motivational speaker as well as a doctor, but speaking about this type of stuff would be something that I'll be doing in the future. Obviously, I have a lot more experiences with racism to speak about. I'm hoping to then gain a lot of viewers and gain a lot of children looking up to me as a role model in the future. I'm just excited to see where this page is going and what God has for me in the future.
Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. What's your favorite movie and what do you do for fun?
My favorite movie would probably be the original Lion King.
Yes.
I love that movie so much. And a few things that I do for fun is I do TikToks, obviously. I like to write. I just like to make up stories to write about. I also like to about research about racism. I like to read about that stuff, but mostly what I do for fun is TikToks and dancing and having a bit of freedom with my speech. I like to sing. I can sing, but I just don't really like singing in front of other people. I can rap. I've rapped a few 80s songs, but obviously I'm too shy to do it in front of other people. Probably in the future I would sing and rap in front of other people, but probably not right now.
And what is it like being part of Black creatives out there?
um, it's amazing. I am so happy to be a part of this. Um, it's nice to watch the other lives and hear their stories as well. Um, Feeling like I'm a part of something is amazing, and being a part of something um, around my race and racism is amazing as well. I'm so happy to be a part of this, and I am excited to see what else you guys have.
Thank you. And Sahara, before we wrap up today, I always like to leave our viewers with maybe like a positive note or some words of inspiration. What advice or words of hope can you give to other children facing racism and bullying?
Um, you're not alone. You can speak about this type of thing. No one's going to get mad at you. No one will hate you for it. Um, it will be dealt with, but it can only be dealt with if you speak out about it. So just try to don't accept racism. It's not okay to accept it. You need to speak out about it. Keeping it to yourself will not do any good. It will not do anything. It will just you bottling up your emotions will force you to become depressed, and that's not what we want at all. So you need to speak out about it so you can feel more powerful, and you can you can and you can feel better about yourself instead of keeping it to yourself.
Thank you so much, Sahara. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. And to our viewers, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon. Be sure to catch us live next Sunday with singer and songwriter Domingo Candelaro. Before making New Zealand his home, Domingo, who hails from Cuba, was living in London, where he was well known in the Latino community for his unique style of music, which has its roots in traditional folk music. Until next Sunday, 12 p.m. New Zealand time, my name is Diane Wesh, and you have been watching the BlackOut series. Kakite.